Welcome back, you guys. This one should be a quick install video, but I got to figure out how to do it. And because there came with no instructions, I'm going to show you what I can figure out on this. It's a product that I've tried before, not this exact brand, but a product that I've used before on my JKU and got rid of. But with my kids and everything else involved, it's now become something that we want to go ahead and do to save us some space. This is what I picked up. So GenRight sells a couple different of these shelves. They sell a bigger one that would cover your whole back compartment area, and this size one, which doesn't. Now, ideally, hopefully this one I can go ahead and set up and still run my slant back without this kind of too much getting in the way. We'll find out. But I've used a cargo area carrier before. Super heavy, kind of flimsy. This thing seems to be well put together. We got some good TIG welds on here. It's actually a great size to fit a decent size cooler on here, which is what I'll figure out. Kids wanted something because in the back seat when they're riding in the back, I have my cooler in between them, and as we're rock crawling, it's bumping around and they're arguing about where it's at. So hopefully this will take care of that. Also heading out to the Rubicon soon, so let's figure out how to get this thing in. It came with two of these pre-painted, which is awesome. I don't have to wait for it to dry and do my own terrible dripping because I'm impatient. And a bag of hardware, which has no explanation of what I'm using that hardware with and for. And this is supposedly for the GenRight cage, which I do have in and I did install. The only paperwork that came with it was basically you can't sue me paperwork. I would have loved to have some kind of, hey, this is how you're supposed to mount it type thing. But I'm handy enough, I can figure it out. And so when I do, let's go ahead and put it together, share it with you guys. And that way when you pick this thing up, it won't be a big deal. Okay, full disclosure time. I am definitely not sponsored by GenRight. But I do think they make great stuff. But there is some annoyance here. First and foremost, these bungs need to be chased. So they're not pre-cleaned out on the threads. So the hardware is not going all the way in them very well. I could probably go ahead and just tighten it down and get it to stick. But likely I need to go ahead and run a tap through this thing and clean it up. Now they included 4 bungs, which tells me that likely what they're going to tell me I need to do is drill out through the cage in this cross section here. So on mine, I built these in. So this is something that I've added into mine that is super imperative for me. I'm going to be super annoyed if it doesn't work or fit with it. I'll have to figure that out. But it looks like it's going to go right here, and they're wanting you to drill through this tube, have it come out the other end like they do on like a seatbelt bung, and then weld it in, and then you'll be able to bolt into is what it looks like, which I would have loved to known that their kit requires you to drill and weld, which is, I can do that. It's super annoying though for people who don't necessarily have that skill set, especially when it's not like, I'll have to go back and read, and if I do, I'll come back and tell you it said it clearly and I can't read, but it should be saying that up front. And again, I'm having to guess. I'll see if they have instructions online, but the only thing that makes sense is these 2 holes on the end align with these holes, so bottom or top, and then that goes ahead and fits like that. So it's either way, there's an angle on this thing, on this, and so if I go this way, which again the holes align once again on this, then it's flared another way. So I'm going to have to throw this thing up there and see which way this is supposed to go in. And then I'm almost guaranteeing that that's what that's going to be, is I'm going to have to drill. It doesn't tell me the drill bit size. Certainly I can figure it out. But to me, that's like a mandatory element. Include in your instructions the drill bit size. So you'll have to have a smaller drill bit size, which allows this to kind of stub out that backside. But this sits on the inside. And then a thicker side for this end to make sure that it goes ahead and it sticks out. And then you weld around the outside, sand it down, weld this thing up, and then sand it smooth. As of right now, the plan is I've already removed my tower speakers, which I have on the back side here, which I've had for years in this spot, which it looks like to use this, I probably can't have them there. I might have to modify this bracket to use with this setup in here. But what it's looking like to me and what's making sense to me is that these likely go, and here, let's go over here. On the end with this gap here to allow for like strapping and stuff like that, for stuff to pass through. And then there's a little bit of a dog in this way, which would match with this going out that way. The other avenue that I can maybe do is if I bolt this on and I can lift it a little bit up, I might be able to build some like kind of clamped bracket that I can weld on there. So I might need to get some 2-inch tubing clamps, weld those to it, and then like plug weld the end and then thread the end with a nut. So that way we can just bolt straight through. All right, time to talk about some decisions that I made. So the tower speakers I'll have to relocate, but what I decided to do so I can still keep my tub sliders that I made for the GenRight cage. These are handmade, these are mine. If you want to see how to make them, check out a video. But I'm gonna go ahead and drill a hole right in here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and weld in these plug welds, these bung welds. And then, so these will be through here that I can bolt that end through. And then it's gonna be floating a little bit above here. And so I'm gonna make a bracket similar to this one that they have right here and put it up higher so I can bolt through to that. So if you have the full one, you probably wanna go ahead and do it here and here straight into this cross tube because you won't have this. And then you just gotta weld through on this one, which this appears to be a 5/8 drill bit and then a 5/16 for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill that out and see if that's right. So I'm gonna go ahead and put both of these through, weld them in, and then I'm gonna go ahead and mount the backside in. This far back, it does get tight, so it starts to squeeze on that. Whereas if you're farther forward, it would come in and out easier. You don't have to tap it, but the cage narrows as it comes back, and that worked perfectly for me. This is the smaller tray, so it doesn't extend too far. I'll still be able to use my soft top and go ahead and connect it. All right, I got one drilled out. I didn't do a perfect job at drilling it straight through. There's a little bit of a whatever, but we'll make it work. It is a 5/8 hole on this side, but it turned out instead of a 5/16 to be a 3/8 on this side. And let's see. There we go. So you'll end up plug welding that in right there and then sanding that out. And then you weld around this thing and you can sand it flat or what have you. So I might bevel the edge a little bit. So that way there's like a 45 with like a grinding wheel or something. And then that way I can sand it flat because I need it to be flat with how tight that is. You know, worst case scenario, the weld cracks, but at least it's not a seatbelt. It's just like a cargo carrier, but it should be good. So I think I'm gonna put a little bit of a 45 or something on that with a Dremel and like a sanding wheel. And then that way when I weld it, it'll still have some deeper welds when I sand this all flat out. This one, this one's even worse. Like, it's in, but it's like crooked. And I could straighten it out and like do it, but then I'd have to re-drill and do all that. I'm gonna do that. It's just for a thing. So the bolt may go in a little crooked, but forget about it. Forget about it. All right, we finished the prep. Beveled it a little bit, not so much that it should melt crazy through or anything like that, just enough. On here, and then cleaned up the bungs so that way we got fresh metal where it's going to reach and at the end there. So time to go ahead and start burning these in. I'll go ahead and get a welding blanket and wrap this stuff up and try to make sure I don't burn anything. All right, they're all burned in now. I didn't clean them up yet. I burned them in a little warmer, and obviously going off the end of something, it's going to go ahead and melt it in. So I'll clean that up, have it flush. And then made sure the backside, that one's hideous. This one went in a little bit smoother on it, but I still threw a couple extra dabs up top just to make sure there was no cut in on it. So I'll sand that smooth. Same thing goes here. That'll get sanded smooth. And then we'll go ahead and dry fit that in before we paint. and get the brackets measured and set up for the front. All right, we got that all taken care of. Let me show you what I did. I measured the angle right now where it's sitting of this crossbar, which was 2 degrees down. So I matched that up so that it's sitting there 2 degrees down. And I'm gonna take these old brackets that I got, which were supposed to be frame chop replacements for something Moto-Built wise that I had. And I'm gonna go ahead and chop these down. And hopefully, and it's gonna be way up here, hopefully I can chop it down enough that it'll fit right in here, and then I'll weld it up right here so it'll be a little stubby bracket. It'll be like down that low. And this so happens to be a 7/16, I think, by 14, whereas these ones are 7/16 by 20. So I'll grab a couple of bolts. I did have to chase the threads on this, but some of that might have been because of the angle at which I drilled through this thing, and then with the heat and how I was trying to go ahead and screw a bolt in and stuff like that. So that might be way more on me. I can't fault GenRight on that. And to be honest, I think when I recorded earlier, I was just overwhelmed with the thought of having to weld in bungs on my cage. Again, well, it's already in here, so it's kind of a headache, but a little weld blanket took care of that, sanded them down. So the outside looks good now. The inside's nice and flat. I'm just fitting this up, and then I'll go ahead and paint it. I'll pull it off and I'll show you guys with the paint on there. Well, here's the finished product, you guys. I was able to get it bolted in, and it is better. Take your time, get these things going straight through, and you'll be doing them down here. It works for me. I'll deal with it. It's my own fault, but it still holds nice and firm. And then these brackets worked out great. This one, I have it going through this way because it's like less than a millimeter off, but when you try to go ahead and pull it in, you know, it kind of wonks it and makes you cross thread it. So I threaded it this way. I'll add a jam nut on the end of that side, probably until this thing wears in or whatever, and then I can thread it the other way. But either way, I'm happy with that. Spray painted the head black. And then on this side, you can see how I had it really set up was to come out like this. I'll probably throw a little jam on that one too, just might as well. And once I have the jam on that, I'll spray paint it black. But there's your finished product. I did sand this out of the way, so I should be able to go ahead and reach these because I don't want to have to take this off just to take these off because it's not necessary. Now, can I go ahead and hold a cooler with the soft top on? Maybe not, right? But that wasn't the intent. It was to go ahead and just make sure I had a place for it. Might be able to fit it there, but likely it'll be in the way. I'll just get a shorter one on there. But as far as this is kind of how I wheel. Obviously, if you did this and you set it further back, you'd have more space. I mean, I think there's like 6 inches, depending. Nah, I mean, you really got to do it like, maybe like, I mean, if you aren't using this rear seat belt, then you can go back probably good 4. But I'm stoked on the result. Honestly, probably the best I've seen as far as mounting goes. More work for sure, but I mean, I shake the whole Jeep when I move it, so it's an integral part of it. As far as ease of setup, not very easy, but that's the nature of something that's going to work really well. Let me know what you guys think. What rack are you running? Did you guys get rid of it like I did? And adding it more firmly so it's not shaking around and it won't fall apart. Is this something that you'd reconsider? Hopefully we see you guys out there on the trails.